Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. So, I'm back at the junkyard. I was not planning to be back at the junkyard, but I need an intake manifold for my Camaro project. And the, in my opinion, reasonably priced new LS manifolds seem to be on intergalactic back order, or just out of stock with no expected return to stock date. And I'm not willing to pay $600 for an intake manifold or more. Well, I was talking to my cousin Shane the other day. Huge shout out. Thank you for looking out for me, buddy. And telling him what I was looking for. And he messaged me last night and said, hey man, somebody just posted there's an Impala SS in the junkyard you go to. So I had to reorganize my plan for the day a bit so I could get out here. Now I gotta find it. Is that it? There it is. Hooray! Nobody beat me to it. Well, now the fun part. Try to get the intake manifold out of this thing. It's an LS4, which it's not the greatest LS intake, but it will fit and it will work. And it's in the junkyard, so it will be at a price I think is reasonable. And it'll get my Camaro drivable. That's the biggest thing. Get that car drivable. So it'll work until I can find one of the better LS style manifolds at a price I think is reasonable. And I'm excited. I'm glad it's here. Again, Shane, huge shout out, dude. Thank you so much for looking out for me, for letting me know you saw this. Let's just get this dang thing apart. Got it, guys. I'm so pumped about this. This was the one piece that like could really mess up my budget, but I got one, and that came apart pretty quick. Should I try to grab these heads too? Let's give it a shot. Right here, right? Try. Head ready to come off, and then we are done here for today. Woo! All right, let's see here. yeah, there we go. This engine looks to be in pretty good shape. I would imagine it probably burned up the transmission and whoever owned it didn't want to fix it again for whatever reason. So I'm satisfied. Man, I got some good stuff today. All right, everybody. Got everything I want out of this thing. I'm pretty pumped about it. The intake manifold I need for my Camaro and a good set of heads. I'm not sure what I'll do with them yet, but you don't see 243s in my junkyard very often, so when you do, you grab them. So, got my wagon all loaded up. I'm gonna bring this manifold too. I wasn't gonna get it, but man, that might make a really good turbo manifold for something. So, I'll get it, put it on the shelf. And yeah, head up to the front and pay and get out of here. All right, everybody, so let's review what we got. I wound up coming home with more than I planned on, but I was there, I had the time, I figured might as well get this stuff, right? I hate to see things go to waste, so stuff that I know I'll use, I'll grab it and take it with me. So the biggest and most important thing for me was the intake manifold. Yes, I know it's an LS4 intake manifold, it's kind of the lame duck of LS manifolds, but the price was right, and it's better than no intake manifold. If I have room in the budget, once I have everything put together, I can always upgrade to a better intake manifold. But the intake manifold itself was $28, including the core. Now, LKQ, they charge you by the part and piece, so they charged me for the fuel injectors also. She did only charge me for 6 instead of 8, which was really cool. So total in all, I paid $56 for the fuel injectors. The throttle body, they charged me separately. That was $35. So all together on that, I spent what? About 120, 130 bucks for a complete intake. Still has the map sensor, the fuel injectors, fuel rails, everything else. I mean, the closest comparison I've seen online is people selling just a bare intake, like an LS2 or an LS3 intake, with no injectors, no fuel rails, no wiring, for $200, $250. So, you know, this was the way to go for me to get it up and running. She also, I mean, I brought the wire harness with it too. She didn't charge me for the harness, which was super cool. And that'll help me out. I'll be able to splice this into the truck harness that I have to make everything work. I wound up taking the 2 coil packs also. She charged me $56 for the coil packs. Oh, I'm sorry. $25 for the, or $50 for the coil packs. I didn't need these, but they are a little bit more compact design than the truck coils. And if I didn't take them, they're probably going to sit there and just get crushed, get destroyed, not get used. So I'll use them on this because I think they'll give me a little bit more space under hood to work on stuff. And they're a little bit newer. The exhaust manifold, I really only grabbed this because, I mean, this thing is like a perfect forward mount turbo manifold. Cut this flange off and weld on your, you know, whatever flange you need, T3, T4, V-band, whatever flange matches up to your turbo. And you've got a really nice high forward mount exhaust manifold there. And then last but not least was the cylinder heads. $56 a piece for the cylinder heads. They've got the rocker arms and the push rods still in them. They even let me have the head bolts with it. They didn't charge me anything extra for that because I reuse head bolts. So all in all, grand total, including tax and core charges, was $356. For me to buy an intake manifold anywhere else that I've seen them, I'd have paid that much just for the intake manifold with a set of injectors. So I'm really happy with it. I'm looking at it as all these things are bonus items that came with my intake. Again, huge shout out to Shane, my cousin, for pointing it out to me and letting me know that they had it in the yard. Big thanks to my wife, who unexpectedly was home with our daughter until the middle of the day and even most of the afternoon because I had other stuff I had to do when I got back. So thank you so much, sweetheart, for giving me the time and letting me run to get this. And thanks to all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure we'll be going back to the junkyard again soon. I'm really enjoying seeing what treasures I can find out there. And until the next video, take care.